Hi, I'm Dustin Weatherby with Sculptdecor. Down here in my Hocking Hills shop in southern Ohio. As you can see, it's starting to turn spring out, so it's starting to warm up a little bit, making me want to get outside. So anyway, I've got a project that I'm working on down here. I'm making a large steel and fiberglass tree for the Worthington Education Foundation. It's going to be on display in front of the Worthington Education Center, right there off of Wilson Bridge Road. So this tree is going to end up being about 13 feet tall, and it's basically going to be a conglomeration of symbols that I've gotten from interviewing all these students from the 11 different elementary schools. And these students are called character ambassadors, which means they're basically like seen as mentors to the other kids in their school, and they come from all different backgrounds. So basically, I met with all these students, and I got about 140 different drawings and quotes and things like that from them. And I put them together and decided that I think making something that is going to symbolize growth would be really good to use like a tree. Just because there's already so much, so many things that we have in common with trees. So basically you can see here there's a lot of symbolism going on. There's a lot of humanistic qualities to this tree itself. So some of the symbols that we came up with, for example, listening and speaking, you know, that's a symbol here seen in this, what is going to be a leaf, but it's going to look like a leaf on the tree, but it has a different shape that you would notice when you got up close. Responsibility, that is what this barn owl here represents. She's going to be in the tree with her fledglings. Another one of the virtues is compassion, and that's going to be symbolized with this fruit of the tree that kind of looks like an acorn, but it also has a similar shape to like a heart, a human heart. I'll probably take the veins out of there because I think that's going to be a little bit creepy for the students. But also for working together, I have ants carrying puzzle pieces, which are going to look more like leaves than just puzzle pieces, but I kind of want to have that symbol in there too. So a lot of these things are actually going to be made out of a polyester resin, and I want to keep that translucent look to those fruits and leaves. That way they catch the light coming from the sun, and it'll make it a really beautiful piece. So if you look over here, this is the base that I have just tacked together for now. I'm gonna be when I finish this piece, it's gonna have a nice solid weld. It's gonna be very, very, very strong. So this is the footprint here. It's about 4 foot by 4 foot, and I'm not really happy with the way this is looking currently, so I think I'm actually going to bring this in a little bit more to give it more of a taper. That's just one of those things that, you know, on paper it seemed right with the ratio, but when I step back and look at it, I was like, I think I'm just going to change it a little bit, which is fine since it's just tacked together anyway. It's not a lot of extra work. So on top of this steel tube, I've got some sheet metal back here. This is 20 gauge sheet metal, and I'll basically be pounding on that with an anvil. So I'll be forging all that into the shapes that I want for the bark of the tree. Just got my little anvil here. I still got to build a base for it. Got an array of different hammers I'll be using for it. You know. And I also have a stump that I have hollowed out so I can pound on like a concave surface as well. So that's good to shape the sheet metal also. So once I get all those pieces of the sheet metal shaped the way I want them, I'll just start assembling that on the outside of this steel frame. And there's going to be a branch that symbolizes each of these 11 different schools in the Worthington School District.